The Night Archive. Season 1, The Museum That Opens at Midnight. Episode 3, The Head in Workroom C. The first thing Captain Helena Frost said after the Global Archive Network went dark was not a prayer. It was not a warning. It was not even an order. She looked at the handless attendant and said, "How long since your last maintenance?" The attendant went completely still. Mara Ellison stood in the staff room beneath No. 7 Private Antiquities Museum with porcelain spreading through 2 fingers, gold threads moving beneath her skin, and the taste of blood still sharp in her mouth from the Byzantine hall. On the monitors behind her, the screens had returned to their usual views of No. 7. The Bronze Hall. The Bone and Reliquary Hall. The Painted Gallery. The Clay and Vessel Gallery. The Legion Hall. Storage corridors. Basement stairwells. The entrance hall and the 12 bronze wardens. The screen marked 7th basement had gone blank again. But the room did not feel safe. It felt like a room after someone had stopped screaming only because a hand had been placed over their mouth. Mara looked at Helena. "Maintenance?" The handless attendant said softly, "Captain." Helena did not take her eyes off him. "Answer the question." The attendant's empty sleeves hung motionless. 37 nights. Helena's face hardened. "Impossible. I was conserving. You were starving." Mara looked from one to the other. "Starving from what?" The attendant did not answer. He had been strange since the moment Mara met him, but strange in a controlled way. Dry. Precise. Almost polite. The sort of impossible thing that had learned manners because manners were easier than explaining what it had become. Now something was wrong. His shoulders were too rigid. His collar looked too tight. The shadows beneath his empty sleeves moved as if something inside them wanted to unfold. Helena stepped toward the shelf. Mara followed her gaze. The mannequin head sat where it had been since Mara arrived. Pale plastic. Bald. Expressionless. Black number written on its neck. B13. Mara remembered the manual. Rule 4, if the handless attendant requests a head, give him the mannequin head from storage room B. Lock workroom C 3 times. Do not observe. The handless attendant had not requested a head yet. But Helena was already reaching for it. Mara said, "Wait." Helena paused. Mara looked at the attendant. "Is this why the intercessor dislikes you?" His face remained calm. Too calm. She dislikes anyone who has learned to survive by substitution. What does that mean? Helena picked up the mannequin head. It means he needs a head before he starts asking for one that has memories. Mara's stomach tightened. Does that happen? Yes, Helena said. The attendant lowered his eyes. Not since 1983. That is not as comforting as you think it is. The museum bell rang once. Not the incident bell. Not the deep call from the 7th basement. A smaller bell. Closer. From inside workroom C. Helena looked at the door. Too late. The attendant whispered, "I am sorry." Mara's porcelain fingers went cold. "Do not accept apologies from anyone in the elevator," she said. You told me that. The attendant gave her a tired smile. This is not the elevator. Then he looked at Helena. And for the first time, Mara heard fear in his voice. Do not let me speak after the door opens. Helena's hand moved to her revolver. Then don't. The attendant laughed once. It sounded almost human. Captain, if restraint worked, I would still have hands. The workroom C door unlocked itself. Once. Twice. 3 times. Then it opened. And from the darkness inside, a voice said in perfect imitation of Mara's own. Please give me your head. No one moved. The voice from Workroom C had used Mara's tone exactly. Not her full voice, perhaps. The weeping intercessor had acquired only a partial sample. But it was enough. Enough to make Mara feel as if her reflection had spoken from the wrong side of a mirror. Helena raised her revolver. The handless attendant shut his eyes. The voice came again. Mara's voice. Soft. Almost embarrassed. I only need it for a little while. Helena said, do not answer. Mara stared at the open door. The room beyond was black. No lights. No visible furniture. Only a smell. Old wood. Metal tools. Wax. Blood that had dried years ago. And something else. Something like burned hair.